Welcome to our next episode of One Cardinal, One Cub, and One Beer, the one YouTube program you cannot miss, because if you miss it, your friends will make fun of you. They will. They will. So you can't miss it. All the cool kids listen to this, watch this.
They always make fun of me anyway, but that's one more thing they make fun of.
Oh, anyway, for those of you who are watching on the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can have our information as soon as it drops. And might as well go ahead and make this announcement now. In 2 weeks, the first week of May, we will not have a show. It's not JJ's fault. It's my fault. I'm going to be gone all over the Midwest for like a 4-day period, and I'm just not going to have time to do the show, put it together, and everything else. So, of course, will be the week that there will be 3 no-hitters, a few triple plays, some first player ever to hit 5 home runs in a game, stuff like that. But
Of course.
anyway, we'll catch up when we get back. So not next week, but in 2 weeks we will not have a show. Um, those of you who are on Facebook, make sure that you like our Facebook page, and we are doing this contest. And well, let me do this first. I post a picture. It looks like Ripley's Believe It or Not, and there's a player on there, and the only criteria is they were at least an all-star, but they're not Hall of Fame. So last week's player was Brad Lidge, and the first person to contact me was Jeremy Connor, our friend. So when we post this, and it drops at the same time that I drop the YouTube show. So as you see the YouTube show, the first thing you need to do is go to the Facebook page, see who it is, and see if you're first. If you just like it on YouTube, that's good. I'll see that you're the first one to like it. Or if you want to get a hold of me or JJ with a message or an email or something, say, hey, the player is Brad Lidge, then that counts too. But what we're doing is, for every time you get right during the week, you get another name in the hat. So if you get 10 right during the season, you're going to have 10 names in the hat. At the end of the season, we're going to draw one name. So the more times you win, the better your chances are. And you'll get a cornucopia of One Cardinal, One Cup, and One Beer memorabilia. And I should have next week the new T-shirts with our new logo on it. That's going to be part of the cornucopia, but we will also have those for sale for those of you who would like to help support us through the purchase of a T-shirt. The new logo looks sharp. The T-shirts look sharp, so I'm very excited about this. And then we're going to have some other stuff where we put the logo on it. If you'd like to contact us, you can do it through leave us a message on one of our platforms. You can direct message us. You can send us an email, onecard1cup1beer@gmail.com, or you can go to JJ's house.
Come on in.
And for those of you who would like to support us, you can go to patreon.com, and you can support us for $3, $5, or $10 a month. And all of your support is greatly appreciated. JJ, I've had a good week.
Oh, you did have a great week.
Yes. I'm not talking about baseball yet.
Okay.
I picked up
Mr. Smooth himself.
Volume 3.
Oh, yeah. What's on there?
I believe in love.
Oh, yeah.
Got I Believe in You. Lord, I hope this day is good. Lay down
That's
beside
a great one.
Mistakes, miracles. Good old boys like me. It must be love. Listen to the radio. If Hollywood don't need you, love me over again. What a voice. This is the White Barry White.
Oh, he is.
What
Smooth.
a voice. The smooth voice.
Oh.
I mean, this guy could sing my wife out of my arms.
Hey. So, yeah. He was an actor. He made it.
Just about anybody could. He was an actor?
Yeah, he was in a movie with Burt Reynolds. There was a band at a bar, and he was in the band. I mean, he had a few lines like, hey, Bert, how you doing? Or something like that. He didn't say a whole lot, but he was in a movie. I remember that. Except Dixie Hall, something of the
Debbie,
Dixie.
Debbie and the Dixie Dance Kings.
I think so. Was Burt Reynolds in that movie?
Burt Reynolds was in it, and
Okay,
Mel Tillis was in it.
I think Don Williams was in it. I'm not gonna guarantee that, but my memory tells me he was in that movie.
Wow, I haven't seen that movie for 40
Yeah,
years, so I'm
I
gonna need
remember
to see that.
a very young Don Williams, very
Uh,
young. Yeah.
and I also got the Marshall Tucker Band's
Hey,
Greatest
hey.
Hits,
Oh,
and I love this album. Um, Can't You See is one of my favorite songs ever, and I love the flute part, and I love the piano part. It's people. Oh yeah, this is like a redneck country
oh,
rock band. Oh man, they are so good musically. And
yes.
then I remember 1978 walking through Van Prater Park. There were four diamonds, and there was this long road. You walked from one diamond to the other as a concession stand. And there was a girl that I had a fancy for, and she was walking in front of us, and that song was playing in the background. Heard it in a love song, and every time I hear that, I think of walking behind her without the guts to say hello or anything like that. But this also has Fire on the Mountain, Long Hard Ride, Ramblin', Searching for a Rainbow. But anyway, I love the Marshall Tucker Band, and I ran into a lady about 10 years ago who was out from the DeSoto, who was from the DeSoto area, and she told me that she was the bus driver for the Marshall Tucker Band. I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. So anyway, I
I
got that.
I think I know who you're talking about. And
You did
she was would pick up Terry Funk when he came to town. She would,
really?
yes, she's got a picture. She works at Walmart, I think, now, and she had a picture of Dusty Rhodes in Ric Flair's one of his robes. Like she had a picture of that. And I was like,
Wow.
what the heck? Yeah, she had some interesting stories, but she had evidence of these wild stories.
Oh,
I have
I
no evidence.
believe her.
My stories, I have no evidence.
So,
How
um,
about that?
do want to remind you that my other podcast, Small Screen Cinema with Tabitha and Dad, that dropped, I guess, Monday. And we are doing the movie One in a Million, the Ron LaFleur story. So there's two things I'll ask you to do. First of all, if you go to our podcast, Small Screen Cinema with Tabitha and Dad, you can watch our review of it, which I think is a good, honest review. Tabitha didn't like it. I liked it, but I freely admit it's a bad movie. Um, but if you're a baseball nut, you're going to love it. It does have a great story. It's just a little choppy, and LeVar Burton is about 5'8", and Ron LaFleur was kind of a bigger guy, like 6'1" or so. So I kind of have to, but
Yeah.
disconnect there. But anyway, that's really cool. And then if you want to watch the movie, which I do suggest you watch, it is you can find it on YouTube or you can also find it on Tubi. So
Okay. All right. I'll
I
check
would
that out.
suggest
I'm gonna watch you guys first, and then I'm gonna watch the movie.
I would suggest watching it on Tubi because the copy is going to be a lot cleaner. Because
Okay.
YouTube sometimes when they post the movie, it's somebody with their old VHS camera pointed at the TV. It's not that bad, but it's just not the best thing. I do want to thank our good friend Mark Marianello today, and JJ's probably got it in his mailbox. He sent us some baseball cards, and I like his little card that he gave us too. Look at the baseball themed
Oh,
card.
I love that.
So I'll be opening. I'll do half of these because there's a lot of cards in here. Half of these this week, and then the other half next week. Thanks a lot, Mark.
You're the
Um,
best.
and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I really do hope that you guys go on a hot streak now that you're out of Wrigley, but I'm not sure you're going to with a manager like that. I'll get into that later on. JJ, I actually got you something.
Oh, well,
You
cool.
probably have this.
I don't know.
Do you have the Cena Slaughter pen?
No, I do not. I've
Well,
never
then
seen
I'm
it
keeping
before.
it.
Hey, oh my God. I love
So,
it. I see Hunter sponsored it or something.
yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, I think it came out in 99. Yeah,
Okay.
99. Um, so
Thank you.
I was sure you would have this, but yeah, I was in a thrift shop and I actually saw this and
Oh, I
I'm gonna
love
buy it
it.
if JJ doesn't have it, or he's gonna have
I'll,
one. If he
I'll
has it,
put it
he's
in my
gonna.
display case with all my Enid Slaughter stuff. Oh,
Oh,
Vince, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
no problem. So how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Let's see. Oh, you were talking about Marshall Tucker and Don Williams. Well, I don't know if you heard, we do obituaries on the baseball players, but Don Schlitz passed away, the famous country songwriter. And I was going to take my son. We were going to land and come back and hit the Grand Ole Opry. And Don Schlitz was supposed to be there that night, and he passed away. And I didn't even know anything about his health issues or anything. But for those of you who don't know Don Schlitz, one of the greatest songwriters. He wrote The Gambler for Kenny Rogers. He wrote On the Other Hand and Forever Amen for Randy Travis. And Mary Chapin Carpenter, he wrote He Thinks He'll Keep Her, which I think is a great song. Wrote songs for the Judds, for tons of people, won tons of awards. And it's odd hearing the songwriters sing the songs because we're so used to hearing Randy Travis and all of them. But I went on YouTube because I was showing my wife who Don Schlitz is, and then he passed away. But she goes, "Oh, that's so good." She just loved his singing. He really, had a style like John Prine kind of singing, But he'll be missed. Of course, a country Hall of Famer and all that. And then I don't know if you heard, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced its 8
I
inductees.
have not heard.
Ooh, may I share?
You should.
All right. Now, these are the performers. They also can go in as people were innovators or things like that. But I think the big award is the performers. So the first one going in is Phil Collins solo. And I think that's appropriate. Phil Collins, at one time, it seemed like he always had an album out. He had Genesis going and his solo career bouncing back and forth. And in the 80s, maybe Michael Jackson's the only one that sold more records. The second one going in, Vince, I'm happy about this. Billy Idol.
Yeah,
Yeah, Billy Idol. Nice career. And
one of my
came out of
wife's
the
favorites.
she loves Billy.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I do. My wife likes Eyes Without a Face. She likes that song.
that's
Uh
that's a great song. And then
yes.
and then he wrote some of his songs are so uh, like like oh dancing with myself is really not about dancing,
No, but it's got a good beat.
he really, yeah, some of those songs, you just sung and then he didn't know what he was singing
No, you
about.
have no clue. Rocking the
Yeah.
Cradle of Love. You're like, yeah, that's a fun song. And then you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't maybe I should be listening to this.
Anyway, keep going.
All right. Third, and I like the diversity. That's another thing about the Hall of Fame. They're trying to be more diverse. Iron Maiden. But Iron Maiden, I don't think is going to show up. There's some of them heavy metal people are like, you didn't want me before. So I don't know if they're even going to be there.
I thought they would make it this year. They
I did too. I mean, they're
groundbreakers
huge.
in
Oh,
metal.
yeah. The art, their album artwork and oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Man. And okay. And I have a lot of friends who love them. Joy Division is going in this year. And I know you're a big Joy Division guy.
Yeah.
Very innovative band, influenced a lot of people too. Well, my favorite of this group is Oasis. A lot of people, you're either on the fence or not. You like them or you don't like them. I love them. I love Oasis. Got everything they've ever made. I love that. Sade is going in. And little controversy. People thought Mariah Carey would go in sort of like as the female soloist, but it's Sade, which I'll be honest, I don't know. I just know that one album by her, and I know a couple songs, but Smooth Operator, that's the one I really remember from her, but I'm not an expert, so they put her in, and congratulations.
By the
Uh,
way, when Rick Rude was in WCW,
yes.
that was his music, Smooth Operator by
Oh,
Sade.
and he do that little pelvic thing. Oh, man, how about that? He is a smooth operator.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, it was.
Luther Vandross. What do you think of Luther? Great
Very good.
voice, very good. And the Wu Tang Clan. I'm not a rap guy or hip hop. I don't know, but I know in that community, people love them. They always are talked very highly of. And there's like, isn't there like 10 guys in that band? Big band.
I don't keep up with
I don't
too many.
either. But congratulations. I think that's fantastic. If all these people show up and perform, it's going to be a heck of a show. And I always like to see who like comes out and talks about them. Then you see a little movie, then they show up. Oasis will probably be throwing punches at each other. And then they're supposed to sing 3 songs that the hall picks, which, if that's the case, they'll probably sing, you know, uh, Champagne Supernova, Live Forever, and I don't know, some other great one, you know.
My
But
brother's a bastard.
one, two, three. Yeah, my brother's a bastard. One, a very popular one in the community there. Anyway, so that's it for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I thought I'd mention that because we always seem to mention what's going on in music and things like that.
Very good, very good. I'm very glad that Joy Division's finally going in.
Yeah,
Um,
good for them.
Loved them since high school, so
Outstanding.
uh, very good. Transactions and injuries and all that other fun stuff. Texas, Chris Martin is on the 15-day IL with the right shoulder impingement, and
Mm.
Texas has also released Mark Canna, and I think he's probably winding his career up. That may be it. In San Francisco, Harrison Bader's on the 10-day IL with a left hammy. In Detroit, Kevin McGondley, gosh, I butcher his name. I know he's a rookie. He's highly, but I there's just some names that
Oh,
I have. I even though I've heard it said, I forget how it's pronounced. But anyway, you all know what I'm talking about. The shortstop. He signed a contract extension like a lot of young players do, 8 years for $150 million. So he'll be doing okay. And for Detroit, Zach McKinstry is on the 10-day IL with left hip inflammation. And Zach, who was with the Cubs for a couple of years, former Dodger, never really could put it together, has really found a home in Detroit. For the Rockies, Kyle Freeland, 15-day IL with left shoulder inflammation. Seattle, Patrick Wisdom is on the 10-day IL with a strained left oblique, and I did not realize that Patrick Wisdom was on the Mariners last year. I think he played in in Korea, so
I
um,
didn't know that either.
very good. Brendan Donovan, former Cardinal, well, Wisdom, former Cardinal. Donovan, 10-day IL with the left groin strain, and former Cub Miles Mastrobuoni has been transferred to the 60-day IL with the strained right calf. Seattle's had kind of a rough start, and these injuries are not helping them. For the Twins, Mick Abels on the 15-day IL with a right elbow inflammation. Got some great news from Los Angeles. Edwin Diaz is on the 15-day IL. No, joking. But I've never heard this description. He has loose bodies in his right elbow, which means, yeah, they used to call them bone chips.
Yeah.
Anything, you know,
Oh,
now they're loose bodies.
okay.
Um, in Kansas City, Jonathan Indiaz, 10-day IL with left shoulder sub left shoulder problems. Houston, Josh Hader's been transferred to the 60-day IL, and Houston, boy, age is catching up with them. It's
Yeah, it's hard to stay on top forever, and they were up there for a long time.
Yeah. JP France has been DFA'd by the Astros, and Christian Javier is on the 60-day IL with right
Hmm.
shoulder strain. So it's a Cardinals played Houston, was it this week or last week? And
Yeah,
Houston
just
didn't
as
look
no,
they didn't look
every
very
game
good.
was tough. We were lucky to win one. We swept them, but and they didn't even have their top 3 starters. So we can't beat our chest too much, but we came out there with a sweep, and I'll take it.
Yeah. Baltimore, Sam Huff has been DFA'd. And in Atlanta, Raisel Iglesias, who is having a heck of a year, 15-day IL right shoulder inflammation for the Mets. So Jorge Polanco, 10-day IL, right wrist contusion. And for the D-backs, former Cardinal Luca Baker has been DFA'd. Um, we do obituaries every week when someone passes away. This one kind of hit because this guy was kind of young. Garrett Anderson, who played
Oh,
from 94 to 2010, passed away at the age of 52. He played um, up until 2008. He played with the Angels. Then he played 2009 with the Dodgers, 2010, a short stint with the Braves. Listen to these career numbers. This is a guy that gets forgotten about. What do you think his lifetime batting average is?
oh, I remember him being a good player with speed and some power. I'll say 268.
293 career batting average.
Woo, that's outstanding.
287 home runs,
That's great.
1,365 RBIs, and his career OPS. I mean, this is good for a season. This was his career, 785 OPS,
Wow.
and just gone way too soon. So rest in peace, Garrett Anderson. Always liked him, and they had boy those Angels team during those 90s and early 2000s. They had so much talent. They uh, Garrett Anderson and Darren Erstad and
Tim
just
Salmon.
oh gosh, man, just a lot of talent. They did finally win a World Series, so
Yeah.
and
Against the
they
Giants.
against Barry Bonds. So yeah.
Yes.
So what do you got for baseball news, JJ?
Well, Vince, one of the big things that everybody's talking about, I hear it every day. Somebody's contacting me. The one Cardinal, one Cub, one beer semi-annual fantasy league. Everybody's excited about this. And what's going on? Did you see my team? Oh my gosh, my team stinks. I hear all kinds of things. So let's go over it. I'll make it quick. We're going to do the American League first, and moving up from number 2 to number 1 in the American League is Dennis Rose. And Dennis loves it when we mention his name. So, Dennis, right now, if at the end of August, if you win right here, you're going to the World Series. Tampa Bay Devil Rays or Tampa Bay Rays are 12-10 and leading our American League Fantasy League. So, congratulations, Dennis. You're hanging in there. Scott Dunn moved up from 3-2 with the Sacramento A's, and they are 12-11. He's half game out, hanging in there. They both move up. Robbie Spear, the last champion we had with the Padres, he's now moved down 2 notches to third place with the Baltimore Orioles, and they're 11-12. He's a half game and a half out. But Robbie Spear, he's not sweating it. It's a long season. He knows that. In fourth place is our good friend Tony Pruno, and he is in fourth with the Angels, and that's where he was last time. And they're 11-13, went 3-4 this week, so he is 2 games back. Now here we are, the White Sox. We thought the White Sox would end up in last, but they've crept up into 5th place. They moved from 6th to 5th. Marlon Dixon, he's on a cruise right now, and he is in Arkansas with my Arkansas buddies. 8-14. They were 2-4 this week, and they're 4 games back and slipping to last place. That punk Brody Jackson, my son Brody Jackson, and the Kansas City Royals. Vince, who would have thought that? This week they went 0-7, and they're 7 and
Yeah.
16, 5.5 back. This year's been crazy. We've had teams that everybody pretty all, and it's early. We're not even through the first month. We're not. I don't even. What are we like an eighth of the season in? And
20
so
games, about that,
yeah,
20.
plenty
Yeah.
of time, plenty of time. But man, the Royals losing 7 in a row, that's pretty rough. So Brody went from 5th to 6th, then he's 5.5 back. So now we'll go to the National League, my favorite league. And in first place, our good friend from New York, Mark, with the Atlanta Braves. And even though real baseball is sad for him, his fantasy team is kicking butt, taking names. Atlanta Braves are 16-7, the best team in all of our fantasy league. And he is in first place. And he was in first place last week. So 2 weeks in a row. Moving from 3rd to 2nd is Tom Maget in the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tom always sponsors my baseball cards. And he is tied for 2nd, 2.5 back. They went 4-1 this week. John Recop from 4th to 3rd with the St. Louis Cardinals, and they're also 13-9, 2.5 back. Then we moved to 4th place, slipping from 2nd to 4th, Larry Wildy and the Florida Marlins. They're 11-12, went 2-4 this week, 5 back. Then we get down, and just like the White Sox jumping up, the Colorado Rockies moved from 6th to 5th. Ray Hartman, our trivia master, And the Colorado Rockies, they're 9-14. They went 3-4 this week. Time to celebrate in Colorado, and they're 7 back. And finally, Candy Barks. I love her, but she's got the New York Mets, and I'm sorry, Mark, but they went from fifth to sixth, 0-5 this week, 7-15, and 8.5 back. So right now, if the season ended, battling for that $100 prize, it would be Dennis Rhodes in Tampa Bay and Mark and the Atlanta Braves for the World Series if it was the end of August.
Let me say something about the Mets because I watched all three games. Friday and Saturday, the Cubs just smoked them, just smoked them. And that happens. And it can happen when you're in the throes of a losing streak. They've lost 11 in a row now. Sunday, we're playing them. And I mean, I'm rooting for the Cubs, but I'm to a point where it's like, okay, 2 out of 3 would be good. I want to see the Mets get off the get off the losing streak. So I'm watching, voting for the Cubs, but if the Mets win, okay, there's 162 games and they're gonna, it happens. So they are up 1-0 on an is MJ Melendez, the former Royal, uh,
Okay.
who's hitting like crazy. He's the only guy on the team that's hitting. He had a solo shot, so they're winning 1-0 in the eighth inning, or was it the ninth inning? Yeah, it was the ninth inning, and I I think Hap walked. Was it Hap? Somebody. Anyway, but Michael Conforto, pinch hitting, former Met, hits a double and ties the game. Okay, it happens, and he does it off of um, Devin Williams,
Ooh.
and so it's 1-1 going into the 10th. Well, they don't score in their half of the 10th, and then we're up in the bottom of the 10th, and our ghost runner is PCA, who's on second, and Devin Williams is still in there, and PCA goes to third on a wild pitch. No, wait a minute. Craig Kimbrell's in there. I knew it was a closer. It was Craig Kimbrell, who's wearing a man bun these days, but that's his personal choice. But anyway, Kimbrell's pitching, and PCA he yanks a curveball that goes. So PCA is on third.
Hmm.
There's one out, um, and Nico Horner is up to bat. Anybody with a brain who knows anything about baseball, you walk Nico Horner. Highest batting average in the National League with runners on scoring position last year, and he's having an even better season this year. He's leading the National League in RBIs. He almost never strikes out. He struck out 49 times in like 650 at bats last year.
Wow.
He puts the bat on the ball, and all you need is a shallow fly ball with PCA on third. The Mets manager Mendoza pitches to him. First pitch, he lifts a lazy fly ball to right center. PCA comes home. Cubs win. I do not know how this man woke up on Monday with a job. It's beyond me. You've lost 11 in a row, and weird things happen in baseball all the time. But by golly, even if you would have lost Sunday's game, the only thing that the baseball decisions are not certainties, but you have to play the percentages. This is going to give me the best chance to get out of this inning, would be to walk Horner, and I don't remember who, Michael Bush, somebody batting second. Whoever's batting second, try to get them to hit into a double play. And that's not a hard thing to do when you're Devin Williams and you got that, you know, everybody calls it a fadeaway or whatever. It's basically a screwball. He gets a share of ground balls,
Yeah.
but I don't know why he didn't walk
Oh.
walk uh, Horner, and Horner just put the barrel, just got a low pitch, put the barrel on it, hit a fly ball. I mean, it's not like we had Carson Kelly on third. We had PCA on third. It made no sense at all. And then that was a bonehead move. But then I lost any kind of respect I would have because in the post game show, he tried to justify it. Well, if we would have walked him, he's probably just going to steal second, so we'll have a run on second. Who cares if there's a runner on second? The guy on third, he
That's
scores,
all
the
that
game's
matters.
over. You walk him and take your chances. And if he did steal second, you walk the next guy and still try to get the double play. It was one of the worst managerial decisions that I've seen. And one thing that if a manager makes a mistake or a coach in any sport, if they own up to it, I can respect that. Hey, it was a stupid move, a brain cramp, whatever. My wife and I had an argument before the game. I wasn't thinking, I don't know, but don't try to justify it because that basically is telling the fans, no, you're all wrong. I'm right. No, 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 no. The fans were right. You were wrong. That was a bonehead play. Own up to it. I don't know how he has a job this morning.
Well, I've heard some of the people on these sports radios from New York. Oh my gosh, it's like they're having a fit. They're just, and Met fans. It's not like, well, some other cities. They're pretty unforgiving. They're like, so I don't know how if this guy's going to make it through the end of the year. Don't know if he should. But first of all, they got rid of a lot of their favorite players like Alonso and Nimmons and McNeil, and I was like, oh my gosh! And the new guys haven't worked out so far. It's been rough, and yeah, I'm with you, Vince. That seems like a pretty move that most people would have made. I think 90% of people would have made that move. So I don't know what to say, and I'm sorry, Mark. Everything's going so bad for the Mets this year.
No, I texted him after the game. It was like, I can't believe he pitched to Horner. And as soon as the game was over, I started getting texts. I get a text from my dad. I can't believe they pitched to Horner. And then I have another friend who listens sometimes, who's a Cub fan. Is like, boy, we snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. I said, no, they gave us a victory. Yeah, we didn't snatch it. We didn't do anything to earn that. They gave it to us. So, oh gosh, I'm just flabbergasted that the guy has made it to be a major league manager, and he did something that I don't. High school coaches make that mistake every now and then. Well, probably a lot more than should happen. But once you get into college and
Oh yeah.
minor league baseball, there's not too many managers, coaches who are going to make that
No.
decision. That
You
was,
got books on all the players. In high school, you don't know a lot of kids
yeah.
except the blue chippers on the other team. So yeah, you don't have that kind of information. But I'm with you. College on minor leagues, they know all these guys. They know generally how to pitch him, or let's keep this guy off base, or we're not facing him. We're gonna if we lose the game, we're not losing it to this guy. So yeah, I'm with you.
Right.
Golly. But congratulations on the Cubs, man. They're red hot right now.
Well, rant about the Mendoza is over. So keep going.
Well, Vince, what do you think about this? For the last few years, I mean, we've always had a couple of good teams, but the American League Central and the National League Central was always like they always talk about the American League East. Oh, that's the best division of baseball. Could it be times have changed? Could it be the National League Central is now the best division? We don't have any team below 500. Every other division has two, three, sometimes four teams under 500. And I know it's early. We're just 21 games into the season, but every single team is at least three games over 500. And we're playing a lot of American League teams and teams in other divisions. And our division is taking it to them. Got a lot of young talent, I mean, if you made an all-star team out of our division, I think it might be the best team. So, what do you think about the National League Central right now? It's really doing very well.
The Central is 66 and 44, 22
Woo!
games over 500. And we've had one series against the division, and that was against Pittsburgh. One or one or two, but that's all we've played is Pittsburgh. So there hasn't been a lot of interdivision games. Who are we beating up on? We're beating up on good teams from other divisions. This is a good division. I still have my doubts that the Cardinals have staying power. I
I
think
do
they're
too.
playing above their heads right now. But I do know this. They get in the ninth with O'Brien, it's over. That guy is filthy. He's going to be an all-star this year unless he gets hurt. It nasty stuff, just nasty stuff. But anyway, um, I've watched every team in the division play, and I enjoy watching all the teams, and they're all good. And I look at the Cardinals this way: they're a good young team, but I think they're a year or two away from seriously contending. Um, but it's not going to be a cakewalk no matter who you play in this division. And I can see a scenario where we have the division winner and then we have two wild cards come from this.
Very
Uh,
possible.
the Brewers are, they started off like gangbusters, 8-2, and now they've come down to earth. Um, but yeah, this is going to be an exciting division to watch. And I do think that there's a possibility that the Reds cool down. Um, but I'm more concerned about the Pirates because I don't like the way the Pirates field, and I don't think they have enough offense. And Ozuna's just a donut in that lineup. But I think between the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Reds, there are three viable teams who could make deep runs into the playoffs. And I think if Pittsburgh gets in, if they if pitching lines up good, they can make a deep run. Um, and if the Cardinals get in, I'll be shocked. But and I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting the Cardinals. I just think that they're a year away. They're very young. But man, they got the ingredients. They've it, when Walker, Victor Scott is looking pretty good. Um, Burleson, I love him. I think he's a really good player. And Weatherholt, he's probably going to cool down. The league's going to catch up with him, but I think he's a smart player and he will adjust. So I think he's going to be fine. And I think, well, fine. I think he's going to be really good. And I just like the way the direction that the team is going. The last few years, they've looked directionless. This year, they look like, okay, we have a purpose, we've got our plan, and we're sticking with it. And it's starting to pay dividends. Jordan Walker, for example, I would have given up on him maybe last year, but they stuck with him and they proved that they know more than me. People do on a daily basis. So, but yeah, I love the division.
I absolutely do. I wrote some of the main statistics down, and I just think the Cubs are great at every statistic you can write down there. The Cardinals, really, what we do is defense, and we run the bases very well and play fundamental, stay in the game. We're competitive. In 2023, we weren't even a competitive team. So this is much, and a lot of games come down to the end. The Cardinals have been coming back, which I can't see them keeping that up all year. But we could easily be 9-13. But at least we've been competitive in most of the games, and I'm enjoying that. Now the Reds, I like their bullpen. Of course, their starters, but they're not hitting a lick right now, and they're still in first place. That's how dangerous they are. The Pirates defense, that's the thing on them. You got to have defense in close games. You got to have defense. The Cubs, I just think they're the best defensive team. I've watched a lot of games this year. I haven't kept track, but I think the Cubs are, if everybody's healthy, and that's a big thing, health, that their team is a superior defensive team. And the Brewers are the Brewers. They do everything well. And but like batting average, the Cardinals are 20th in batting average. I mean, you got well, the Reds are 30th, 204 batting average. I know batting average ain't everything, but The Reds are only hitting 204. Stolen bases. We our teams in this division can steal some bases. We all have base stealers, but the Pirates are. I'm sorry, the Brewers have 33. That's part of their strategy. And then you go number 6 is the Pirates. Uh, 9 is the Reds, and 10 are the Cardinals, and 15 is the Cubs. Now the Cubs, they don't have to be so daring. They're just good. They know they got the hitters and everything, but they steal when they, strategically steal. Where the Brewers will just take off. Man, that's a big part of their game. Um, on base percentage, ERA, the Cardinals are not a very good team as far as ERA goes. We're not a strikeout team. We're last in strikeouts. And when you have a high ERA, the defense is going to have to play great. So that's why I'm so surprised. We're by far the worst. I think we're like 30 strikeouts below the 29th team. And then saves, it's the Reds have the most saves, but the Cardinals and Brewers have 8. The Pirates have 4, and the Cubs have 3. But that doesn't mean a whole lot. They're just whipping teams. They don't. The reliever doesn't have to get a save. So right now we got so many good teams and young players and dynamic. It's going to be fun, and just to be mentioned in it and be part of the pack, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. But I still think the Cardinals, at best, 75, 77 wins right there. But I'm enjoying every minute of it. And like you said, Vince, they're going in the right direction.
You
Well, I was
remember
going to talk.
the Do you remember the 1980 Houston Astros made the playoffs?
Yes, I do.
Almost no offense. Almost no offense. But they got hit and they sustained this through the whole season. They got the big hits at the right time. If there's runner in scoring position, somebody was going to poke him in somehow,
Yeah.
and they would win the game 2-1 or something. Just not a good hitting team, but somehow they had timely hitting enough for that pitching staff to carry them. And that's kind of like I see the Reds, especially when Hunter Green gets back. Um, they don't have to score a whole lot of runs. They are so tough to hit. And Pittsburgh's not far behind them. So,
Right.
uh, yeah. And when I look at the pitching in the division, I our starting staff, I would say now that Cade Horton's down, is probably third or fourth in the division. Um,
Third. I'd say third.
but it's just it's a great division. I
Great.
I I hope we sustain this. I hope at least 4 teams finish above 500, and we can tell all these people who don't like our division to go jump off a cliff. We are a good division.
Yeah, take a hike. It's nice to baseball's secular, eventually they can't East can't stay on top of forever. But right now things are good in the Central. Well, around the league, these are things that caught my eye around the league. It's our this week in baseball. Mike Trout, it's glad to have him back. He's always been injured so much, Vince, and he has been red hot. And he took it to the Yankees, which I'm always happy about. 5 home runs in a 4-game series. Is that something else? And in that streak, he went 6 for 16 with 5 home runs and 9 RBIs, which is he joins Jimmy Fox, Darrell Evans, and George Bell to hit 5 home runs in a series versus the Yankees. How about that's good company right there? George Bell, kind of forgot about him. Yeah,
George Bell,
yeah,
Cub for
little
one
Cubby.
year.
Yeah, come for 1 year. I thought he was a Cubby. All right, let's see. I was going to talk about Mike Maddox, great pitching coach. A lot of times the managers get the attention, and some of the coaches don't get all the attention. The Angels have played better. They're not world beaters this year, but they're a better team this year. And Mike Maddox, I didn't know, is the pitching coach over there, and they are pitching so much better and at least uh, competitive. I guess that's the word of the day, competitive. And he has done a real good job. And if you look at Mike Maddox, everywhere he's gone, the team's pitching staffs have become better. He helped the Rangers win that World Series. Finally, the Cardinals, when he was here, we didn't have a whole lot, to be honest with you, and he got the most out of them, him and Yachty. Mike Maddox, I just think we should honor him and respect him as a pitching coach. A lot of times we don't really pay attention to these guys until they retire, and then we look back. But Mike Maddox, he does a really good job, and I really enjoy him coming out on the mound and the teams he works for you. There, I mean, he can't get lucky every year. There must be something great about him, and he always makes the team better when he's a part of that team.
He also won a World Series with the Nationals.
Was he the pitching coach there too?
Yeah,
I wrote down all that stuff. Well, how about that, man? Very good. Um, and also, did you see? I always worried about this, Vince, especially Minnesota and Colorado. There was 3 inches of snow on the ground for a Rockies game against the Dodgers, the California guys. And I believe the temperature at game time was 35 degrees, the coldest game in Dodger history. And still yet, the Rockies had 28,785 people show up. Now, that's some diehard fans right there. The Rockies got beat, but the fans got to at least got to see the Dodgers play. But
yeah,
the ground crew did a great job fixing it. But Vince, if the Rockies ever get to the World Series and they play Minnesota, I don't know how they're going to do it because they're outdoor stadiums. And man, it gets cold in October in those two cities, especially. I don't know. That's going to be something. Uh, A's Nick Kurtz. I like bobbleheads. Nick Kurtz had a bobblehead day, and his nickname is the Big Amish. And did you see his bobblehead, Vince?
I
It's
guess not.
I like the A's colors. I like their uniforms, but he's kind of bent and he's got a churn and he's making butter. He's churning butter. The Big Amish. Now that's an original idea. I thought I'd seen them all. The Big Amish and the butter churner. That's that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Jackie Robinson Day. We just had Jackie Robinson Day, 79th anniversary. Nike put out a limited edition sneaker at the V5R in R. They're $100. They look nice. I like tennis shoes, but I don't go buy custom shoes or anything. But it's to honor Jackie Robinson. A lot of it's going to charity. And also, Jackie Robinson has a museum in New York, and they raise money for inner city baseball and education and things like that. And a lot of kids up there take field trips to the Jackie Robinson Museum. I didn't know that existed. So if I ever make New York, I'm going to check out the Jackie Robinson Museum. And maybe Mark can tell us more about it someday if he ever comes on here. Please, Mark, come on here and talk baseball with us.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
always working.
he's a hardworking man.
Yeah,
Nolan Arenado. Nolan went out to Arizona, and his stats are not what they used to be. He still plays good defense, but he had a stretch in a 3-game stretch. He had 9 RBIs, and even though for the season he's hitting 205, 1 walk, 17 strikeouts, 213 OBP, and OPS of 556, but he had a 5-game stretch where he had 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. He went 7 for 19 for 328 for 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. So good for you, Aaron. I love watching him play. It's kind of sad when these great players just aren't as good as they used to be, but still
yeah.
yet is good to see him get that spark going there for a weekend series. So I was happy to see that. And finally, I'm going to bring up this guy here because I like to honor people while they're playing and just shed some light. And everybody knows about this, but I think sliding is a lost art. A lot of people are now sliding head first, and people get injured that way. I remember in the old days, people hook slide. Slaughter scored the game-winning run in the World Series with a hook slide. Lou Brock used to go into second and pop up. He slid so hard. I think Trey Turner is the best slider in the game. He's almost like Lynn Swan, so graceful. I've seen him slide home and somehow he'll slide on the outside and just pop up and tag the bag and pop up. I'm like, how the heck does he do it? I saw him go in the middle with PCA, hit a ball up the middle. He slid, caught the ball, popped up, turned, and threw PCA out, who's one of the 5 fastest runners in baseball. So Trey Turner, I salute you, man. Personally, I think he's the best slider in the game. What do you think, Vince?
Yeah, I do like his sliding into home. I've always thought that looks so graceful.
Oh,
And gosh, he's got to be approaching 35, and he's still very athletic.
very
It's
athletic. It's good for us old guys. one of us, well, not really half our age, but still yet, it's good to see the older players doing so good. I absolutely love it. And that's my trip around the league right here.
So what's going on with the Cardinals?
Well, the Cardinals,
A lot of good.
a lot of good. And I kind of wanted to touch on our minor leagues because one of the things the Cardinals did was work on their minor leagues, trade established players for young players, and we're trying to build up our minors, which last time I heard we would have rated second. But the Memphis team is in first place in their division. They're 14-7. If you get a chance, you're in the Memphis area, check them out. A lot of the guys, we've really built up a nice AAA team. I think we're going to see a lot of these kids, and a lot of them are playing so good, they're knocking on the door. Jimmy Crooks, Baez. Unfortunately, Dobbs is back, who's one of the guys we picked up, who might be our sixth starter when we stop having all these days off. So that's it. Springfield, that won the championship last year, the AA team, is in last place. They're 5-10, but a lot of their best players have moved up to Memphis now. Our high A team, the Peoria Chiefs, are in last place. They're 5-9, but our Palm Beach Cardinals, which is low A, is in first place, and they're 11-4. So two of the four, we got two in first, two in last. A lot of prospects down there, and I'm kind of excited to kind of keep up and see how these guys are doing, and maybe who's on the cusp of coming up to the big team, because I don't think this team we have right now, we got Lars Newbar coming back, hopefully sooner than later, and who's going to be here and who's going back down. And it's going to be exciting to see these different pieces come in and put this team together, you know.
The big question I have about the Cardinals minor league system is when is Dick Fitz going to be on the major league roster?
He got hurt. Dick Fitz is out for the year. He's going to have surgery.
Oh man.
Yes, Mr. Fitz. Yeah, so he's out. One of the greatest names in the sport too. But he's out. But Dobbs, another guy we got from the Red Sox, he just came back, pitched good in his first outing. He had some issues, so they delayed his start. So he might be that sixth guy that comes up. With other big names of guys we've heard haven't started out so well. So we'll see what's going to happen. But man, I'm excited. We had a kid we got from in the Brendan Donovan move, and his name's Taya Pete, Tai Pete. He hit for the cycle the other night for Palm Beach, and he's a guy that steals a lot of bases and is very athletic and very good defensive player. So keep an eye on him. He's still probably 2 or 3 years away from coming up, but he was one of the 5 guys we got in the Brendan Donovan move. The Cardinals are we just ended a 5-game winning streak, and I was so proud of that. 5 games, I mean, that's nothing to sniff at. And we're 5-0 in extra innings. For some reason, the Cardinals, and we got good team speed. We're one of the younger teams, but they just seem to stay in the game and fight to the bitter end. And we've had about 3 different relievers that's had pretty good years. Swanson's been from anywhere from horrible to maybe he's found his stuff back, but he's going to have to be a big piece. He was a great reliever for us last year, and this year he just hasn't found it. It would be nice to have like a 4-headed monster in that bullpen, but right now it's 2-headed and 2.5. So we get Swanson and Sariano going. Things could be better there. That's what I'm kind of looking for. JJ Weatherholt, I mentioned this before, but I like everything about this kid. He takes good at bats. When he's down 0-2, it's nothing to worry about. He seems to foul them off, and he strikes out a few times, but he stays in the thing and makes the guy throw 7-8 pitches sometimes. But he's been hit 5 straight games, which is a Cardinal record. He broke Wilson Contreras, and I can't remember who else held that record. And I can believe it was Contreras that had that record. He wasn't here that long, but the all-time record is 6. So if he gets hit by a pitch tonight, he ties the all-time record. So that's a bad record.
He holds the record for the most consecutive games being hit by pitch by a guy that looks like he's 14.
That's true. He is youthful. Well, I heard a rumor, but I don't know how true this is, that they were trying to offer him one of those, PCA Jackson Cheerios deals where, hey, 8-9 years. I don't know how much was offered. I heard I don't know if he wasn't interested. I don't know the whole story, but I haven't heard anything about him signing anything yet. And I think the Cardinals are working on that, which would be nice. But then I'm thinking, well, what about Mason Wynn? And maybe they want to see more out of Jordan Walker, but I don't know. Well, we got a couple guys in there. Maybe we could do that with, but JJ would be a great one to have that there because the fans love him. Jordan Walker, what can I say? He's turned it around this year. Vince, we both talked about him off and on. I don't want to go on and on too much, but he's on a 15-game hitting streak. Vince, he looks like another player. He's taking pitches that he would have chased last year. He's hitting in his 15 games, he's hitting 344 with 7 home runs and 4 stolen bases. I mean, he's doing it all. Great arm in the outfield. And he doesn't look lost anymore out there. He looks like a quality outfielder now.
And
So
he carries himself like a good baseball player now.
he sure does.
It's just he he's not saying it, but the way he walks, the way the confidence he exudes, he is saying, "I'm the man now," and I love this. I ran into a guy at Harbor Freight, and I'm wearing my Cub gear, and he actually said, "You used to do that podcast." And I said, "We still do the podcast." And he said, "Oh, I thought you quit during the off season." I said, "No." He said, "I haven't listened for a couple of years." I said, "Yeah, we've only missed like 5 weeks in over 3 years."
Yeah.
So he said, but anyway, so we started talking about Walker, and he was just like I didn't know if he was going to put it together, but this year he really looks like a different ball player. And I said, yeah, I said, even though I'm a Cub fan, I'm a baseball fan, and I like to see people succeed. Uh, and I said between him and Wynn and Weatherhold, this team has a future. So very
If we could
excited.
just get somebody behind him that the other team has to respect. Nothing
Yeah,
against Nolan Gorman. And if he gets a hold of one, that's
yeah,
the problem, though. He
just
strikes
not
out,
enough contact there.
not enough contact. But if he did, if he keeps working, them two, that could be a dynamic duo, a right-hander and a left-hander right there. Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice. So anyway, I'm liking that part of the team. And you mentioned this earlier, Riley O'Brien. We got him for cash considerations from the Seattle Mariners. I can't believe it. He's 3-0 with oh, I don't have his saves down here, but his WAR is 0.9, no ERA 0, 12 innings pitched, no walks, and 14 strikeouts. I know he's got at least 3 saves too, on top of 4 maybe, but he has done such a good job. And him and Walker are probably like the MVPs of the team this year. Them two guys. So been fun watching him. And my gosh. Anyway, so the rumor was, Diaz went down. I don't know how long he's going to be down, but some people are predicting. I wonder if the Yankees are going to, or the Dodgers are going to try to contact the Cardinals about Riley O'Brien. I said, no, don't give him Riley O'Brien. Come on now. So anyway, that's it from Cardinal news, Vince.
Now, if the Cardinals have like a stretch of,
Yeah.
4-15 or something, maybe then they would entertain a trade. But you can't trade him when you're having this surprise
Oh yeah.
start. You can't do that to the fans.
Please don't.
No. So, and I've fallen in love with him until he pitches against the Cubs, and I'm going to hate him. And he's not like Hollywood good looking, so I
That's
don't
right.
have to hate him. So
Just a
that's
normal looking guy.
yeah, there we go. So in Cubby news, I'll start with the hard part. Daniel Palencia, 15-day IL with the left oblique strain, and he's been unhittable so far. He's only got one save because he's not. We're either crushing teams or losing. So, um, but it's not a bad injury. But he warmed up and it felt okay, and then uh, later on it kind of was giving him problems, so they put him on the IL. So we have had so many pitchers, both bullpen and starters, on the IL. It's been very tough to piece together a pitching staff. Nico Horner's Player of the Week for the National League. Congratulations! And if the Cardinals would have won yesterday, it would have been the first time since we've done this show that both teams had an undefeated week from show to show. Cubs went 6-0, Cardinals went 5-1. So we've won six in a row. We've won seven of our last eight. Things are starting
Woo.
to fall in place for us. And Boyd is coming back. He's pitching, I think, tomorrow. And so that means that Ray or Assad is going to go to the bullpen. And I think it's probably, even though he has pitched great, I think it's going to be Ray going into the bullpen because Ray is more used to pitching out of the bullpen. But Colin Ray is 2-0 since um, oh, brain cramping now. Kate Horton went down. And like yesterday, pitched into the seventh, only allowed one run.
Wow.
He just knows how to pitch. This is his second year with us. We don't win the division without him last year. And we can't win the division without him this year because he has proven if the staff's healthy, he's going to be able to come in and give us two solid innings out of the bullpen, maybe three. If we have an injury, he can walk in there and he can start like it's nobody's business. Um, the problem is that right now, with Boyd down and with Horton down and with Steele down, we've needed both him and Assad. With Boyd coming back, we're probably going to go six man for the next few games because we have a busy uh, week coming up. But I think after that, you've got to put Ray back in the bullpen because Assad is just so used to starting. And Assad got blew up the game before, and then his last game pitched excellent. So I am so glad we invested in depth this year as far as our pitching goes. So very good. And I that's all we got. We're 6-0. We we have done that against the Phillies and the Mets, and you can say, yeah, and look, they're scuffling. You're doing it against scuffling teams. Well, one of the reasons they're scuffling is they're playing a team that is playing really good right now. Um, Defensively, we regularly have two or three outs a game that some of your weaker teams aren't going to get. So, uh, yep, that's all I got. So, all
Okay. Hey, that's still a good week. Outstanding.
right. Our guest is going to be John Suermann, and he will be coming up right now. We have Jon-Erik Suermann, and he's going to preach to us. Nah, he's too much of a sailor. I've heard that joke before. Anyway, he's with Nerding Out with Cards, and you may think that we are interested in him as a guest because he deals with cards, but no, we're nerds, so we just thought we'd have a nerd
Yeah,
discussion.
fellow nerd.
Yeah.
So John, tell us, how did you become a baseball fan?
So, I mean, baseball has just always been a thing as far back as I can remember. My dad, he was in the Navy growing up, but he's big time Cardinals fan because they're from the St. Louis area or Metro St. Louis area, and we go back home to St. Louis for like summer vacations. We go to ball games if the Cardinals were in town, and it was just always the thing. It was always around. I played Little League. And I just don't know not being a baseball fan. There's no memories before that. So
Well,
Nice.
I want to talk to you about, first of all, before we really get going on baseball, being in the Coast Guard. You're in the Coast Guard. I was in
yeah,
the Navy, and I'll be honest, when I went down to the recruiters, it was Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. I didn't see any recruiter for the Coast Guard. I think it's a top secret thing because everyone I've talked to that was in the Coast Guard was either have been in other services and went over to the
yeah.
Coast Guard. And if I had it to do over again, I would think I would have chose the Coast Guard. I probably couldn't have passed. They probably what it was. You're more Navy material, not Coast
No,
Guard
no, no.
material.
So the reason why you didn't see the Coast Guard recruiter there was because the other branches are well at the time DOD, right? And now it's all Department of War. But the Coast Guard at until 2003 was under the Department of Transportation.
Oh,
and now it's
okay.
under Homeland Security. So the recruiting offices are actually separate.
I
And
see.
what's funny is I enlisted out of St. Louis, and I was just like, where is the recruiting office, right? And I felt really dumb because there was a card shop called Southtown Sluggers, and this is in South County.
Okay.
The recruiting office was four doors down from it.
They didn't put no sign up or nothing.
No, I just didn't pay attention. I had blinders on going to the card shop, and going there to buy Ozzie Smith cards or something of the sort back in the early 2000s, and that was kind of funny when I located it.
Very cool. Very cool. I have a follow-up question. So, each collector, we all have our favorites, or we zone in. I have a friend that does rookie cards of all the Hall of Famers. And he's
Hmm.
been working on it his whole life, to
Yeah.
find a decent one. Some people are flipping cards. Me, I'm Cardinal centric, but I just love the game of baseball and traveling to different ballparks and everything.
Yep.
But from your podcast, which I love, by the way, the best, it's my favorite besides this one podcast because you don't know if you're going to see a 15-minute video, a 30-minute video, and
Yeah.
I learn something every time about collecting and different aspects of it. But you're kind of Ozzie Smith centric, and would you care to tell us how you became such an Ozzie fan?
Yeah, so I mean, Ozzie Smith is my guy. I've been collecting him since 1992. Like my earliest memories of collecting baseball cards was Ozzie Smith. And how I collect and what I collect has kind of changed over time here and there, of course. It just happens. But uh no, we were back here in St. Louis at that time, and I remember like the 100th anniversary stuff was going on. There was the McDonald's cards, there was a VHS tape. I don't know if you remember that from the 100th anniversary.
Oh
And it's a
yes,
big,
yes, sir.
story of the Cardinals. And but it was my dad, cousin, and grandfather. We were walking around the ballpark one day, and back then, because that was Bush too, right? So it was just a big circle.
Right.
And so they had gotten my cousin and I a baseball, and my dad got me like a Topps team set that year. But we're walking around, we see this line, and we didn't know what it was. And so as we got closer, it was Ozzie Smith signing autographs.
Hey, hey.
And so I was, what, 7 at the time. I don't have the baseball anymore, unfortunately. I've moved it at least a dozen times since then. But the for my I seem to remember like knowing who Ozzie Smith was. I can't remember that well, but ever since then, like he has just been my guy, and so I'm a little bit jealous of the of people that got to, enjoy the 80s, the Whitey ball and
It
whatnot.
was great.
But I just that's my all-time favorite, and I do collect other players, of course, like Yadier Molina, Stan, Red, Bob, Lou, and things like that. But I was so focused on Ozzie Smith for a couple decades at least.
Yeah,
Did,
go ahead. Go ahead. I can talk my ear. I'll talk your ears off. Go ahead, Vince.
did did you happen to see Ozzie Smith in The Wizard of Oz at the Muni?
No, no.
I did.
Hey,
That's probably the only thing but to have over you on Ozzie Smith, but I just wanted to put that in there. His acting debut, yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
He played
I
the wizard, by the way.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would
that's
imagine.
perfect. That's perfect. Well, I saw that you like to keep your cards in binders. You're a binder guy.
Oh
You
yeah.
you hold up the binders, and you know I'm going to go kind of on a history lesson here. Do you remember these? We used to have these little locker things.
Yeah, I
You
used
might
to
be
have all
too.
kinds of cool
Oh
boxes like
yeah,
that.
and it was like you had each team there, and you put the cards in there. And then of course I have binders as well. I got
Yep.
the That's my Cardinal autograph cards. But I'm telling you, this is the new thing. I love this. For my graded cards, which I was going to hear what you think about graded cards, but it's magnetic,
Yep.
and you just they fit right in there. There's a Paul Skeens rookie right there. So for my investment cards, I try to get them graded and put it in here and things like that.
So
But I love that.
yeah, that product was actually created by a guy here in St. Louis, and it took off so well that I guess Zion, the Mag Pro people,
Yeah.
uh, bought it from him.
How about
So
that? Man.
it's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
we
came
had
on
him on the
here.
show a few years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he came on here, and he's working for Tops now, making these little cases with tops on it. It looks really sharp
Oh,
with,
really? I did not know that.
yeah, like a little leather case for him and stuff like that. So, yeah, but the hobby's always changing and everything. Enos
Oh yeah.
Slaughter's my guy, and but Enos only has like 15 cards, except for reprints.
Yeah.
Ozzy has, you read it off like 3,000 cards. Is that,
No, it's a lot more than that.
whoa?
I honestly don't know because I don't track it, right? So
Okay.
I don't collect any cards manufactured from 1997 to now. I only
Okay.
collect the years in which he played, and that's just to keep like some sort of sanity collecting his cards. And because when I made that decision, it's only gotten worse since then as far as parallels and scarcity and these kind of things that would just drive me insane. So I had to come up with rules for myself.
I understand. Yeah.
But
So I see you've got some Chief stuff. You've got a Rams banner. Do you collect other sports
yeah,
or just
yeah, yeah, not to the same degree. Baseball has just always been my favorite sport. Football, it's a very complicated history for us here in St. Louis. The NFL just hates us while they love Cleveland, or something. But the way that the Rams left, I just couldn't follow them. It's a personal choice kind of thing, but I like sports too much to not have a team, and so now I'm a Chiefs fan, which is it was the same year that I made Chief in the Coast Guard, so there was a little bit of symmetry there, and
ah?
Very nice.
obviously I'm a Blues fan. Um, we don't the Blues don't have the same like success over its history like the Cardinals do. There's not really any players that have just like that legendary status that played their whole careers here. There's always players that played a few years here or something of the sort, so it's a little bit more difficult to collect hockey cards the way that I think. So there's that kind of stuff, but uh, baseball and the Cardinals provide so much to collect, and it keeps me busy.
Oh, yes. It's a full-time job, but I have such fun, and I have a room that only I can go in, and it's all up there, and I can listen to the games. I like listening to the games, but I got something here. It's a movie poster. We're red hot,
Yeah.
and it's the coming summer of '82, and Ozzy Hernandez and Bruce Sutter signed that. You probably have one too. You have that?
No, but
Yeah.
I saw a picture of you with that before too, and that's an
Oh,
epic item.
with my collecting, I never know what I want till I see it. I don't go up there saying I'm going to get this, this, and this. All of a sudden, I'll see something, and my friends will say, "Oh no, there he goes," and they can just see it in my eyes. I'm going to try to get that or trade for it or whatever. But I tell you what, absolutely love your show, and I got some ideas. Food cards like Kellogg's, the 3D cards,
Yep.
or there was the Jello cards, I think, and Twinkies. The back of the Twinkie boxes, they had
Yeah.
those. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents right there. Food cards right there.
Yeah, those were great. 80s and 90s. There's a big difference between like 60s and 70s, 80s and 90s and how they did it kind of thing. But
Yes.
really cool stuff. And so, collecting a guy like Ken Boyer and a guy like Ozzie Smith, like it's kind of the whole spectrum. And then you go before that, it's the bubble gum, caramel, and candies, and going back to like pre-war stuff. It's really cool that unfortunately like they don't do anymore because they can't, licensing and everything. But really cool obscure stuff provides like a little bit of a chase kind of thing. You learn about those via like trading card database or something of the sort, and really really neat stuff. So
Tombstone put some out, but they couldn't put the emblems on the uniforms or something. They didn't have
yeah,
the
yeah, the licensing stuff.
copyright. You're
Yeah,
right. And that really takes away from it. I didn't really carry on with them too
I
much, but
mean,
I
it never bothered me, especially like,
okay.
as a kid getting some of those cards. It never, like the post serial ones and
Oh
like those
yeah.
Tombstone ones. All I knew is it was another Ozzie Smith card, so I was golden with it.
You got it. You got it.
So what got you? What made you decide to do a podcast?
So there it was like 2023. I transferred from Clearwater, Florida to Seattle, and it's one of those things where like every time you transfer, you're like it's like you're starting all over. You get there, you don't know anybody. Um, I had gotten I had branched out from Ozzie Smith, I would say, as far as like collecting goes, because I was so hyper focused on him. So for a couple years, I started getting, more cards here and there, like Al McInnes, Isaac Bruce, Stan Red, and those kind of guys. And um, somehow, some way, I just started watching YouTube videos of people doing, showing and talking about baseball cards and everything. And so then that was something I kind of like watched in the background, and that's stuff that I was learning more watching a lot of these guys. And so then that made it a little bit more interesting. It's like, well, this is something I could do, and it looks like a lot of fun. And so I was just like, oh, I'm gonna wait till after I retire from the Coast Guard, and then for whatever reason, I just decided I was just gonna do it earlier, and so I did. And one of the things I noticed watching all these guys is that there was not enough Cardinals cards on the YouTube. That was for sure. You see the occasional Ozzie Smith rookie card or maybe a Stan Musial card here and there, but there wasn't enough, and so I had to fill that void.
Very good. You First of all, you're very informative, and I like your podcast because I'm always learning. But it's your personality. Not everybody's got a podcast has personality,
Oh,
and
I don't know about that, man.
I don't have one.
you get me coming back for more. Now, don't let Vince kid you. Vince is the brains of this operation. He does all the special effects and everything. I can't even work a cell phone, and he's nice enough to let me be his zany sidekick. I'm a sidekick, and between the two of us, somehow it works or something like that. But your podcast, so I was watching it the other day, and with my wife, she goes, "Oh, he's very good." And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Look at all
Thanks.
the stuff he's got. He probably spends quite a bit. Maybe I need to turn it up a notch." She goes, "You spend enough." No, you spend enough. So I was trying to
Uh,
use you to increase the collection.
no, a lot of the cards I collect and whatnot are in the shallow end of the pool. It's like that Yachty card I picked up was $5. I'm not spending a whole lot of money on this
You
stuff,
can get crazy quick. It doesn't take long to get crazy quick.
No.
So
No, I mean,
you're more
I don't feel like I know a whole lot about, cards and everything, but there's just stuff that I find interesting anyway, so that's what I end up talking about. Especially like on the Ozzie Smith weekend stuff.
It's
so
always
you
Ozzie Smith weekend.
do
Go.
you collect more for your own just enjoyment? You're not like looking to put kids through college with these cards or anything like that.
No, so the college part, I've got that pretty well taken care of. Like the military benefits and everything these days are phenomenal. And then at the same time, that's why I have a job. Like I have a job to provide for my family kind of thing. The cards and whatnot, it's 100% for me. I don't really think about the values at all. Like first off, most of these Ozzie Smith cards just aren't worth a whole lot anyway. So I don't participate in grading, which if you're concerned about the value, like you have to concern yourself with that kind of stuff. It just makes sense. Um, but no, I just go after cards that I like, and if I see that they're expensive, then I get down because then they're harder to buy, you know, like that kind
Right.
of stuff.
Yeah, I'm what you would call a 30-second card guy. I'll look at a card and I'll see, hey, Eddie Murray when he was with the Orioles. That's cool. And I'll put it down 30 seconds later. I forgot I ever picked it up. So um, I, I've told the story on here. I was an avid collector growing up in the 70s. And I mean, I had a friend who had cards from like the 50s and 60s. So I had some pretty valuable stuff. I didn't know it was valuable. I had like Mickey Mantle,
Mhm.
Ernie Banks, players from yesteryear, Juan Marshall. And my friend Phil uh, said something one day about, the baseball card collection. And by that time, I'd kind of slowed down a little bit with buying baseball cards. And he said, do you want to sell these? Now, I'm a poor kid living in East Alton, Illinois. I said, yeah, I'll sell you my collection. And he said, how much? And I said $20, not dreaming he would ever go for it. But Phil had a paper route and he made about
Oh,
$40 a month. So he had the $20. And I've wanted to run into Phil and say, what did you do with my baseball cards? Do you still have them? I buy them back for $30, but they're long gone. I don't know where he's at now, but eh. But
Yeah.
like JJ, he's serious about it, man. He's
oh,
like,
it's part of American history. Just how the card has changed over the years, and
Oh yeah.
the special cards, and these guys, like you said so well a while ago. It wasn't long ago. I'd go to the ball game opening day, and you'd see Stan and Red and Lou and Bob and Whitey
Mhm.
and Bruce. They're all gone now, and so many great memories with those players. And I could go on and on with the crazy stories where I skipped school for 3 days and only had money for 2 tickets and camped out at Old Bush Stadium for Game 1 of '82 World Series, and they got beat by the Brewers 10-0, but it was worth it. It was worth it. My principal saw me on the news with Herb Humphreys. Crazy stories like that. But I absolutely love it. And you talked about being in Seattle. I was stationed in the Navy at Bremerton, Washington,
Mhm.
and this was back in the Kingdome days. So I take the ferry up there. There was an old retired veteran, and he always took 2 oranges into the ball game with him, and we'd talk baseball all the way there and all the way back because it was about an hour ferry boat ride. And I just absolutely love those days, and just I don't know. That's why I love baseball. It's just the history of it and the players that come and go, and
Oh yeah.
the train keeps going, and people get on and get off, and just you can go to a game and you've been a fan for 20 years and you'll see something you've never seen before. JJ Weatherholt getting hit 5 times in 5 consecutive games. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I
So
know.
it's just a crazy game that I absolutely love. And thank you for your podcast. I tell you what, that's must watch. I'm going to be
I
singing your
appreciate that.
praises and shooting people over there. And anyway, I've already turned about 2 or 3 people onto it, and they said, "Oh my God, this is great." So please keep that up.
Well, I appreciate that.
so what's your favorite item that you have?
Oh boy. Favorite? I mean, this is like the card has a whole lot of meaning, but you got this
Oh,
Ozzie Smith rookie card,
yeah.
and this specific copy. When I was 16, my dad was stationed in Goose Creek, South Carolina, and I got a job at McDonald's. And when I got my first paycheck, I went to the card shop and bought this card. It was
Nice.
like it was the grail card for me at that time as as a kid, teenager growing up. Because the Beckett magazine said that its high value is like 60 or $65, and that's a lot of money when you're a kid,
Oh
So
yeah.
that's the one I would say is my absolute favorite Ozzie Smith card, and ironically, he's in a Padres uniform, but you what can you do?
One of my favorite memories of Oz is he made a catch, which I know you've seen, where it took a bad hop and got behind him, and he barehanded it,
Yeah, when he
and
was
then
in
he
San
threw the guy.
Diego.
What? That's just the go crazy, of course,
Yep.
play. And there was a play where Kurt Ford and him
Yeah, they
crossed.
dove over each other.
They could have killed each other if they collided. I still thinking about that play to this day, and like, oh my gosh, that was
Yeah, I
just
don't think that was a smart play by Ozzy, but it makes for a great highlight.
right. That's right, man. Some great memories there. And Vince is a Cub fan, and I got Cub love. I don't hate the Cubs. They've had Ryan. You mentioned Ryan Sandberg. I put Ozzie and Sandberg together because there was so many All-Star games they played together. And when it was
Yeah.
when it was the Cubs and the Cardinals back in them day, you'd see tonight on Game of the Week, and you'd see Sandberg and the Cubs and Ozzie and the Cardinals, and it was just
Yeah, and
magic.
their careers overlap so much, so there's like you connect one with the other kind of thing, and then there's the Cardinals Cubs thing, shortstop second base thing. Like there's just so much there, and you mentioned that like one of my favorite cards is those
Oh,
two together on the card.
I love
Nice.
that card. Oh, that's
But
classic.
the 88 Fleer. Um
Yeah,
yeah, I love that stuff.
I do too. I do too.
So
Like when I
is
was younger, I used to get into the rivalry part of it all, the
Oh
talking
yeah.
crap back and forth.
Oh yeah.
And then, I got older and I just don't care anymore, like that kind of thing. Like um you're a fan of your team because you're a fan of your team. It's for whatever reason. It's because of where you're from or because they were televised or whatever the case may be. But as long as, you know, a fan of baseball is a good thing. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
So go like baseball. I don't care who you like.
That's right. I'm with you.
Yeah, I've been to so many Cardinal Cub games in St. Louis. Wearing my Cub garb, I've never had a problem. When they say it's a friendly rivalry, it is. It can be annoying, and it was
Oh
really
yeah.
annoying until 2016, and now it's not quite so annoying anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's a good time. Like you'll see Cubs fans at the ballpark, no matter who's playing here in St. Louis. But then you go like any ballpark. I think one of the popular things to do now is like go to all the different ballparks, and so you're seeing fans from all sorts of teams going to games all over the place. I think it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I have a friend. Uh, I think he's out in San Francisco. Um, he's a comedian, and he traveled, took 1 year and traveled and hit all the ballparks and uh, got a hold of me when he was in St. Louis. And so we went out for barbecue at the Loop, just
Hmm.
uh, baseball. What the reason I love wearing baseball gear is because I can go to McDonald's and someone's going to strike up a conversation.
Yep.
And a lot of times, I'm pushing 60. A lot of times, these are people who are older than me. And I love to listen to their stories because they've got, I was sitting at the 67 World Series and I'm like, you were? My gosh, I was three. No, wait a minute, I was one. So I wasn't sitting there. But yeah, I love, it's almost like a, a hillbilly mentality that
Mhm.
we can infight, but if someone who's not a baseball fan
Oh
says
yeah.
anything bad about baseball, we'll all turn around and gang up on that person.
Yeah. No, my favorite comeback is they're like, oh, baseball's boring to watch, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, it's okay, man. Baseball's a smart person sport. Go
Oh
watch
yeah,
football. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good
oh,
one. I like that.
this is a true story. My daughter had a friend, and I had a ball game on at the house, and she came in and she said, "I don't like baseball; it's boring." And I said, "Oh, what's your favorite sport?" She said, "Cross country." And I said, "Yeah, if you take away all that boring stuff like throwing and hitting and stealing bases and just leave jogging onto the field and off the field. Then you have the excitement of cross country."
No, my kids, they'll tell me that they don't like baseball, and I tell them that I'm gonna move them to Canada.
My in-laws are Cincinnati Reds fans, which is fine, and and but the wife is a Cardinal fan, and we got together this weekend, and we have that MLB package where you can watch all the games at one time,
Mhm.
and I took because I try to nurture the game for young people, and their youngest son is a big Reds fan, and I gave him a rookie card for Sal Stewart, their big new rookie first baseman, and oh, thank you. And we just sat and talked baseball for about an hour. And
Yeah.
I'm always learning. I don't care who you are. I'm always learning something about the game or why you love your team or something to do around the ballpark and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like you said in one of your podcasts, it's a community. Our podcast community, our YouTube community, and the baseball community right there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum, like getting to go to it now, and they opened up an exhibit for the 1926 World Series. If you get a chance, check that out. And the Hornsbys, yeah, you know of him and whatnot, but there's so much more and so much cool things to see in there, and I think that speaks to a lot of what you're saying.
I'm going to check that out. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Well, we do need to proceed on. And where can people find your YouTube channel besides YouTube? The obvious, but
Yeah, so it's nerding out with cards. That's the channel name. I think you just search for that. I think it's at Nerding Out with Cards, one word, but I'm not on Instagram or anything. So that's I think that's the way to find it. You know, you could probably look up Ozzie Smith on YouTube and find a bunch of videos for me too. But
Yeah. And whereas our show is a weekly show and we're doing a lot of current stuff, you can watch your show in whatever order. You just look, no, here's one for 15 minutes. I got 15 minutes. Here's one for 25 minutes. I got 25 minutes.
Mhm.
Um, I like videos like that where I don't have to, oh my gosh, I missed 2 weeks and there's no reason to go back. Yours, you can just find something, put it on, watch it when you've got the time. Really great. And you do a
Yeah,
great
I
job.
mean, you know, the Ozzie Smith is weekend is a recurring thing, but they're isolated in of themselves, like you're saying, and I've been doing it for a year now, and the I think the titles are pretty transparent. None of them are clickbaity. So like when you see the title, you pretty well know what it's going to be about, and I don't know. Hopefully people like it and whatnot, but it's more or less an outlet for me, and if people like it, that's a bonus kind of thing.
My favorite is your end of the month. You usually have a guest on, and what did you get this month? And you're showing off all your little treasures you got through. That's my
Yeah,
favorite. I was like, oh yeah, I like that. Oh, I never seen that before. So
yeah.
thank
It's
you.
Adam and I. We go back and forth between his channel and mine. That's something that's we've been doing for a few months now. Just because I didn't want the channel to be all about buying cards, you know.
I see.
Um, I think that gets old. Oh, you bought a new card. Oh, you bought a new card, and not about like what you already have kind of thing. So that's where that kind of stemmed from.
Okay.
And we'll put a link to your YouTube channel on our Facebook and make sure that people can find it really easily.
I
So
appreciate that.
thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it. We'll have you on again sometime.
Thanks,
Yeah.
John.
All right. Thanks a
One of the
lot.
things I'll say is I really enjoy your guys's podcast channel kind of thing. The way you guys talk about baseball and view baseball is refreshing because all the talking heads on the news, they treat every baseball game like it's a football game where there's that's an 18 game schedule or 17 whatever it is these days. Baseball is still 162 games, you know what I'm saying? And there's all the predictions of the seasons, but there's a reason why they play the games, and y'all just kind of like let it play out and enjoy the season as it goes on. And I think that's kind of gotten lost in recent years when it comes to baseball. I don't, at least from my point of view. So sitting back for an hour listening to you guys is a lot of fun.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and I always say the great thing about baseball, you can be the worst team in the league and you still wake up happy 60, 65
Yeah,
times during the year. Even last year, the Rockies fans woke up about 40 times happy. So the
yeah.
Dodgers are never sad. So
Oh, not
Well, no,
lately.
no, that's lately, but
Yeah.
I mean the Cardinals could be bad this year, but it could be the start of a Hall of Fame story for J.J. Weatherholt. You never know.
Yeah.
It could be the rebound story for Jordan Walker. You never
Oh
know.
yeah.
Like it, you just never know. Like there's Hall of Fame careers that are within bad seasons for a team, and it's just a matter of what you can take out of it, you know. But there's never a bad day at the ballpark, I can tell you that.
Amen. That's
that's right.
right.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, John. We'll see you
John,
later.
thank you
Okay.
so
Thank you.
much.
JJ,
Yes, sir.
I got this pack, and I know you have it in the mailbox because he said it sent us both the pack. I got this pack from Mark Birianello, and
Oh,
it's 1982 tops, and it has a piece of gum right in the middle. So I'm going to
oh,
open the first
split it.
half of this deck up to the gum, and then next week I'll open up the second one. What have you got?
Well, I last week I liked the Top Celebration Series 1, 2026, with the mascots on it as well as some of the best players. Right there. That's PA's there and Bobby Witt Jr. and Julio Rodriguez. And just celebrating the game, the 75th year of Topps cards. So I'll be opening another pack of those. I think there's 14 cards in there. You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, Marks.
Look at that gum.
Hey,
I don't remember the gum being this.
that's a big piece of gum.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's gum for the whole family.
So this is 44-year-old gum. I'm not chewing it.
In the year 2525.
Oh, so the first half of these cards, I'm going to say I have two Hall of Famers.
I'm gonna go three. Mark's got this magic powers. I'm gonna say three. And
Oh,
one's gonna be a Met.
this was one of my favorite Royals when I was growing up, former All-Star, now with the Blue Jays at 1982, Big John Mayberry.
Oh, yes.
And when he would come to the plate in Kansas City, they'd do that song, Big Bad John.
Oh, did they? That's a great walk-up
Yeah.
song.
For the Mets pitcher, Ray Searage.
I remember him.
I
I
remember
do.
him. For the Phillies, pitcher Marty Bystrom pitched in the
Oh, yeah.
1980 World Series, I believe. 80,
Yeah.
81, 80 World Series, yeah.
Is that when they played the
Oh,
Orioles?
yeah, yeah. Uh, no, no, in 80 they played the Royals.
You're right. The
That's right.
Royals. That's right.
Um, for the Pirates, very good fourth outfielder. He also played for the Dodgers, and I think he finished with the Red Sox. Lee Lacy.
Oh, he was a good player. Yeah.
Oh, former Expo, former Dodger, uh, Elias Sosa.
Oh, yeah. Nice career.
Oh, future stars of the Pirates. Oh,
Who we got?
oh, hold on.
Can I
We
guess? Is
have
Johnny Ray on there?
Johnny Ray's on here,
Hey, hey.
and another guy who had a pretty decent career, Vance Law's on here,
I remember
and
Vance Law.
Bob
Yeah.
Long. Don't
I
remember
remember
Bob Long,
him.
but I remember Law and Ray. Both of those guys had
Yeah.
pretty decent careers.
And I think Vance Law's father played in the majors too.
Vernon, yes, pitcher.
Yeah.
For the Angels, we have pitcher Jesse Jefferson.
Don't remember him.
I don't either. Ooh, former All-Star for the Expos, Tim Wallach.
Oh, I liked him. He was a really good player.
Uh, Catcher for the Twins, I remember this guy, Sal Butera. He bounced around the league a bit.
Sure did.
Oh, former 20-game pitcher for the Brewers, also a former All-Star, pitched in the 82 World Series, Mike Caldwell.
Oh, yeah. That was their ace in 82.
Yep. Oh, Seattle Mariners future stars.
82?
I
Hmm.
only know one of these guys, but guy was an all-star. Look who's right in the middle.
Oh, Dave Henderson.
Dave Henderson, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Dave Edler and Reggie Walton. I don't know those two.
I don't know. Henderson had a nice career.
Former Red Sox outfielder, Rick Miller.
Yeah, I remember Rick Miller.
Uh, Former Red, former Yankee, former Mariner, Ken Griffey Sr.
Oh, yes. Yes. Part of the Big Red
Oh,
Machine.
in action for the Brewers, Hall of Famer, Raleigh Fingers.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Mark. Great
All right.
package. I appreciate it so much. We'll finish this off next week.
Yes.
Okay,
And
Jay,
I will go out to my mailbox to get mine. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, this is 2000. So no Hall of Famers in here. Well, sometimes they have an older card. They put one out or something like that. But starting it all out is Baltimore Oriole, Colton Cowser.
Hmm,
He's a
good
noteworthy player. They got a young team over there. Very good. They've been around a while now. Okay, Philadelphia Philly pitcher, Jesus Luzardo.
Yep, that's who we're facing tonight.
Ooh, all right. We'll get him out of here. All right. Houston Astro shortstop Bryce Matthews. He's probably getting some playing time. The Pena's hurt right now.
Yep, there he is.
Oh, Pittsburgh Pirate. I saw this guy play last year in 2 games, and ex San Francisco Giant, but he's with the Pirates catcher Joey Bart.
Joey Bart. Yep.
Right on the bases there. Fast for a catcher. That's kind of an insult. Left-handed Kyle, hey, he's fast for a catcher. Detroit
Well,
Tiger pitcher. Go ahead.
I was gonna
Dylan
say,
Smith.
Dylan said, there we go. So it's even worse if someone says he's slow for a catcher.
Oh,
My gosh,
Yanni,
you're
we
running
love you.
backwards.
Yeah. But they're pushing baby carriages faster than he can run. Oh, yeah. All right. Pitcher for the White Sox. I do not know this guy, Davis Matthew Martin. Davis Martin. Yeah, there he is.
No
I do
clue.
not know him. All right. All right. Tampa Bay pitcher Ian Seymour. This is his rookie card. I didn't see him pitch the last time. I don't know him very well.
I don't know
Uh,
him.
oh, I can't. This is a guy I have trouble pronouncing anyway, but this is he really was good in the World Series, was a rookie that year for Arizona Diamondbacks, the pitcher Brandon. And how do you say that last name, Vince?
Uh, Pot.
Fat? Fott. Oh, that's right. Fott. All right, there he is in action. The ball's flying out of there. All right, this is RBI leaders for the American League last year. Would you care to take a couple guesses at who led the American League in RBIs last year?
Aaron Judge.
He was number two.
Number one. Hmm. Number one. Who led the American League in RBIs? Cal Raleigh.
Boom, the big dumper. Yeah. And the Pasquatch is third.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Red Sox catcher Carlos Narvaez. And I love this outfit. I love the catching gear. It's one of my favorite things in baseball is the catching gear pictures right there. That's nice. All right. Now we have the 75th anniversary. And this is a throwback card. New York Yankees. Don Mattingly.
Donnie Baseball.
There was about a 5-year, 7-year span where he was just, my gosh, he was something just top notch. All right. I like these cards. They're honoring the stars of the game. And this is for the Atlanta Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr. I like that card. That's
Nice.
nice. Yeah. All right. This is premium. And the one, the only, Bryce Harper, who's had a great career. They ought to make a movie on that guy. He's got great hair, too. We hate him, but my
The
gosh, he's a good.
the world's angriest Mormon.
I remember the first game he came into the big leagues. One of the Phillies pitchers just hit him. Welcome to the big leagues. Bam! Hit him with the ball. And game day drip. These are like, Vince, I'm not stylish. Look at me. Look at this. Wrestling shirts, baseball hats. I'm not stylish. But this is game day drip. And in style, Mr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Look at that. Look at him in that suit. Look at that.
And he makes the money now, so
Yeah, he can get the fancy suits right there. How about that? And so Vince, that's my cards this week.
very good. Do want to thank our guest, Mr. Jon-Erik Suermann, and a great interview. And make sure that you check out his YouTube channel, Nerding Out with Cards. Those of you who are collectors who really enjoy it. And if you're not a collector like me, he is a fun personality to watch, so you can be entertained by that. And I would love to collect cards. I just don't. I don't have the fever anymore.
I
Phil
got the
Hodge
fever.
stole my fever when I sold my baseball cards to him. So, but now I've got all these cards from like 20 years ago that I've been buying for 3 years. I don't know what to do with them. You know,
Our friend can make belts out of them. You get your bunch of
I guess I
PCAs.
could donate them to him. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
got a bunch of
something.
cards and they're just taking up space now. So anyway, remember 2 weeks we will not be here, but next week we will. And I think we got another guest coming in next week if things work out good. So you all have a great time. Cardinals, Cubs both rolling, so we should all be happy. So smile. Thank you. JJ, you have a good one.
You too, sir.